Hello Planet Internet, I'm Emperor Cole and this is Emperor Cole's Quarantine Top 10 List. In this particular list, I'm going to give you 10 action flicks for you to check out while you are safe in the house getting your quarantine on. So now, if you're one of the people who's fortunate enough to be in the house with your spouse, whether it be your wife, your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, or just significant other, you're definitely probably getting your quarantine and chill on. Or if you're in the house by yourself, much like myself, you're probably getting your quarantine and Pornhub on. That's a joke, but I'm dead serious. So these particular movies, these are 10 films that are all in the action genre and category for you to check out while you're getting your quarantine on. So I'm not saying number 10 is better or worse than number 1. These are just 10 movies. They're in no particular order. So everybody, let's be safe. And here are 10 movie suggestions in the action category by me, Emperor Cole. At number 10, we have the film Dredd, made in 2012. This movie was a remake of the 90s film that was originally done that starred Sylvester Stallone. That movie was far more campy and very goofy and didn't do very well with audiences and critics. This movie was far more gritty and true to the actual comic book. And this movie starred Karl Urban in a film where you actually didn't even see his full face, which is very true to the actual comic book character. So this movie had very good effects, and the storyline was something that was very action-packed and really cool. And the slow motion and the action sequences were top-notch and out of this world. So at number 10, we have Dredd. You definitely want to check this movie out while you're getting your quarantine on. At number 9, we have Edge of Tomorrow, made in 2014. This movie is an action-packed film that stars Tom Cruise as a soldier who's repeating the same day where he dies in a fight against an alien invasion on Earth. Definitely sounds like fun, right? But in this particular movie, he keeps coming back to life and finding himself back in the same particular spot, trying to figure it all out. So it's definitely it's an action-packed version of Groundhog Day for the most part, but it has a far more serious storyline, and the storyline is actually very good, and it has a twist towards the end. So now, this movie is based off a book that was called All You Need Is Kill. For some particular reason, the studio that made the film didn't feel like that title was going to go over very well with the United States audience, so they changed the name to Edge of Tomorrow. And that may or may not have, that actually did hurt the box office because it kind of hurt the marketing of the actual film, which was something they didn't handle very well, but this movie has actually become a cult classic over the years. So, at number 9, The Edge of Tomorrow. You definitely want to check that out while you're quarantining. At number 8, we have Star Trek, the remake, made in 2009. So now, this remake was supposed to introduce new generations of Trekkies, and of course was supposed to boldly go where no man had ever gone before. So now the film was directed by J.J. Abrams and was written by Robert Orci and Alex Kurtzman. They were known for doing high-quality sci-fi television action before in the past, so this one was supposed to be a layup given the fact that they were all hardcore Trekkie fans. But the new film, this remake, was taken more as the hardcore Trekkie fans didn't enjoy it because they felt like the storyline was too close to like a Star Wars type of film. And they felt like the movie didn't stick to what the core elements and what the core characters in the original TV show from the 60s and 70s was supposed to be about. So they kind of rebelled against it. And the film didn't do as well at the box office as expected. I, on the other hand, feel like this is a very entertaining film. The storyline is intriguing, and it is a good movie that, once again, I'm suggesting for you to check out while you're in quarantine. The film stars Chris Pine, Eric Bana, Leonard Nimoy. At number 7, we have The Terminator. This movie is one of the best action films ever made. A cyborg from the future comes back in time to kill John Connor's mother before he can be born and lead the resistance against Skynet. So this movie launched the career of an unknown director, James Cameron. Before this, the only movie that he ever directed, I believe, was called Piranha 2. And of course, this movie made Arnold Schwarzenegger a household name. This film has so much action in it, and the storyline is so detailed and so compelling that this movie is a fan favorite all the way to this day, The Terminator. At number 6, we have Battle Angel Alita, made in 2019. So now, this movie was the movie adaptation of a Japanese manga that, of course, was in the works for over 20 years, reportedly. James Cameron originally wanted to do the film, but the technology to properly do it the way he wanted to do it did not exist. So the movie sat in development for quite a while until the studio was ready to make a move on it, and of course until Cameron was ready. He handed over the reins for the directing to Robert Rodriguez, actually. So now the movie was met with some trepidation initially, but this movie greatly exceeded expectations as far as its quality, the storyline, and what have you. The movie does have some plot holes, but it's overall a very entertaining film, and it is very good. So now, it currently holds an audience score on Rotten Tomatoes of 92%, which is outstanding. And as stated, this is a movie that you definitely want to check out while you are inside doing your quarantine. At number 5, we have Bad Boys 2. This movie was released in 2003. This is the second movie in the franchise that brought the buddy cop comedy back to the cinema forefront. This movie stars Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. They were two 90s TV stars who have great chemistry and work well together on screen. Their characters have clashing personalities, which created for some classic comedy moments in the film. This movie upped the ante as far as the action with the pace and just some of the things that actually happens. And it also has a young Gabrielle Union in the film. So this movie is definitely something you want to check out while you're in your quarantine. Bad Boys 2. At number 4, we have Mission Impossible 3. Tom Cruise returns as Ethan Hunt. In this particular film, he's up against a notorious arms dealer who's kidnapped his girlfriend, who turns out to be his later future wife, of course. And in this particular film, he's trying to stop him from getting his hands on this infamous rabbit's foot. So now this is something that they're after the whole entire film, and an intricate game of cat and mouse ensues throughout the whole entire movie, where you're not quite sure what's what, who's who, and who's on what side. At number 3, we have Kill Bill Volume 1. This movie is the definition of a spaghetti western with Tarantino's style and flair. The movie combines the intense violence of anime with the revenge theme that's often found in western films, and of course the classic one-on-one fights that you would see in the 1970 karate flicks. Uma Thurman plays the role of a bride who has been wronged and is out for revenge. She was left for dead on her wedding day. The movie has a unique female protagonist who's up against many foes, male and female, with intense one-on-one action scenes, with unique fighting styles, and sequences that are classics in movie cinema. Kill Bill Volume 1. At number 2, we have Casino Royale, the 21st movie in the Bond feature film series. This movie is actually based on Ian Fleming's first book in the whole entire Bond run. Daniel Craig was far more of a brawler type of forceful hand-to-hand combat type of Bond, which was much different than the super suave playboy type with gadgets that a lot of his predecessors were in the other films. This movie has great running action sequences with elaborate sets that obviously must have took days to film, but it's got great action, great fight sequences, and a storyline that will definitely keep you guessing until the end. Casino Royale. And at number 1, we have 300. With the classic line, "This is Sparta." Gerard Butler kicking the messenger of Xerxes into the pit is one of the most memorable moments in action movie history. Zack Snyder created a beautiful action war masterpiece, adapting Frank Miller's graphic novel primarily with green screens and great acting performances. The signature slow motion action fight left an imprint in the minds of the audience and also created a trend in Hollywood that many directors attempted to recreate in their own films. That is why this movie is adored so much to this day. 300, great action film, and definitely a movie you want to check out while you are currently in quarantine. Okay, so that has been my 10 action movie suggestions for you to check out while you're in quarantine. Make sure you check those movies out. Even if you've seen some of them before, hey, watch them again. We've got plenty of time right now. Everybody, make sure you're washing your hands frequently. Make sure you are social distancing. Make sure you're only going out the house if you absolutely need to. Everybody, there is no right or wrong way to do quarantine. This is currently a situation that nobody could have really planned for or expected to happen in 2020. So make sure you're getting through this time period as best you can. Make sure you're trying to do something productive, something to keep yourself busy. Let's get through this together, and everybody, I'll see you on the next Top 10 List movies. Later. And remember, the future is now.